You don't need a big audience or a big following to advocate for somebody or something that you care about. You think you need 10,000 followers in order to have your voice matter? That's the lie that's keeping you silent and your business or your life small. Your ability to impact and influence others isn't determined by your social media likes, follows, or anything else like that. Those are just vanity metrics that we often use to make us feel like the things we're doing matter, but for the most part, they don't really matter. We're speaking and using our voice and advocating or helping in order to help at least one person. I don't speak up or talk about different topics to be heard or be famous. It'd be nice, right? Wouldn't it be nice to get thousands of followers and things? Sure. But is that for my ego, or is that for me to actually help other people and make the world a better place? 100% ego, right? We all have an ego. We have to feed it sometimes. Usually a little coffee is all mine needs. So let's talk about this today. Advocacy, to me, is just helping. How can I help? How can I advocate? How can I support somebody or something that's important to me and that I care about, an important cause? I'm Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Today is day 197 of our Supersize You annual challenge. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. And then, of course, we're going to have an action item, because nothing happens until we actually do something or take some action about it. So that's why I like to share a lesson and then have an action item to support that learning, so that we take that new skill, ability, thought, idea with us throughout our day, and hopefully throughout more of our life, but throughout the day for sure. So platform size is not permission to speak up and use your voice. Actually, the only permission you need is from yourself to actually show up somewhere, anywhere that feels right to you, and share your voice, share your message, share your opinions about things. People that try to appeal to everybody, we know this. We've heard this from Marketing 101. Appeal to no one and get no attention. I will admit, with respect to business, I am totally guilty of that. I think the older we get and the more experience we have, the harder it is to say, oh, I'm just going to focus on this one little area and I'm only going to talk about this one topic. I have 365 topics every single year. So what's the probability I can focus that down to one thing and talk about just one thing every day for either my personal life or my business? Not possible. It's just not. And the truth is, we are multifaceted beings. We're not just one thing. And if that's what it takes to train a machine, meaning the algorithm, a lot of people will do it. I'm not sure I can go down that road. Just being 100% upfront. If I'm doing 365 things every year, how am I going to pick the one thing that I want to focus on? Maybe I'm just focusing on personal development and continuous improvement, because actually everything we do is to move us a little bit further ahead toward what it is that we want every single day. So platform doesn't give you permission to use your voice. You just choose. And by what we choose, we give ourselves permission. Secret. We have to give ourselves permission for everything. We want to have a certain result in our life. We have to know we deserve it. We have to say and be honest with ourselves that we really want it. And then we have to go after it by taking actions that move us toward that thing. So if you want to make $1 million and you're sitting on the couch all day just watching the news, I'm going to tell you, you're never going to make $1 million. Sorry, unless you inherit it or you win the lottery, it's not going to happen. And to win the lottery or inherit something, you just have to exist probably. But if you want to win the lottery, you got to go buy a lottery ticket, right? Nobody's ever won the lottery that didn't buy a lottery ticket. You have to take some sort of action. Advocacy builds authority by choosing, taking a stand, sharing your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That is advocacy for the thing that you're talking about. And you don't need, to be in the speaking industry. You don't have to be in anything. But what I challenge you to do today is speak up about one thing in your life that's important to you. Just share that one thing that's a priority for you right now. Because guess what? Our priorities change all the time based on the stage of life we're in, the stage of relationships we're in, the stage of personal development and growth we're in. And guess what? Some people go along their whole life. I'm saying guess what a lot. You don't have to guess at all. I'm going to say it. The vast majority of people will never be your friend, right? They're never going to be your friend. The vast majority of people on the planet are never going to like us or care what we have to say. And that's okay, because we're not here for the vast majority of people on the planet. We are here for the person here and the person there, the group here and the group there that needs to hear our experience and our message and our story so that they know that we're here to advocate for them because we've been where they are now and we can totally relate. One voice can absolutely positively change everything. We don't need a stadium. We don't need to be speaking in front of 30,000 people or 100,000 people or even 1,000 people. We just need to find a platform and a place where we can share the thing that is important to us, that we're passionate about, that we care about, that should be supported and advocated for. And that's going to be different for each and every one of us. The things that I support and advocate for are different than the things like even my sisters, we've all had the same upbringing, right, would advocate for, than my kids would advocate for. Everybody is here with their own message, and it's up to us to get that out by using our voice or write. There's lots of ways to get the message out. You can write. There's all different modalities. So I know if you're being quiet, the reason I was quiet for, let's see, how long have I been online? This is my 9th year doing an annual challenge, so I wasn't quiet after that. I'm not super loud, and I will admit, and this goes against one of my mentors, I do not track my metrics on any platform. Number one, because I'm on a lot of platforms. Number two, it's just a vanity and ego thing, and I'm not going to waste my time doing it. Number three, it just doesn't matter. I am just speaking for my own reasons, my own why, and sharing messages I think people need to hear or want to hear. And that's how I give back to the world. That's how I show up every day, not only for the world, but for myself as well. Because for a long time, I wasn't showing up. I was keeping quiet and silent. And it was 100% out of fear. It wasn't out of, it wasn't even on social media. I thought I needed a bunch of social media or I needed attention. It was out of fear for other things that were going on in my life. And I've carried that forward. And that's part of why I hold myself accountable to show up every day. Because I don't want to be silenced. I don't want to never be heard. And I don't think probably you do either. You wouldn't be listening to me. I've watched people with almost zero following. This just happened in a community I'm in last week. A young woman was offering her products and services to people and struggling, like some of us do, month after month of not making any sales or getting a message out to anybody. And all of a sudden, in 1 week, she made nearly $200,000 because even though she didn't believe people were watching or listening or seeing her, they were watching and listening and seeing her all along. And so when she made that offer, excuse me, she ended up getting like 3 B2B clients, which is business to business clients, for a couple $100,000 in 1 week. 1 week. So if you don't think that people hear you, if you don't think that they're watching, I'm here to tell you they're watching. And how I know is when I get a hater, then I know they're watching. And that's how you'll know too. So what I'm going to do today, I challenge you to go out and advocate for something or someone. What's one thing you're going to advocate for or you have advocated for today? Share it in the comments below so we can learn from one another. I'm going to share thinking for yourself. I believe that for the most part, the vast majority of humans do not think for ourselves. And I put do not for ourselves because I'm included in that. I think for myself in a lot of areas, but there are a few areas where I am as easily influenced as the next person. And so I need to remind myself every day, hey, what does this really mean to you? What does this really mean to me? Does this mean anything? Do I have the ability to influence this in any way, shape, or form? And if the answer is no, I choose not to participate. Here's an example. If I scroll and see something that irritates me on social media, or if you watch the news, if I were to watch the news, but I haven't since the 1980s, and it irritates me, instead of responding and acting in a negative way, I turn it off. I take a deep breath and I say, I choose not to participate in this because there's no value added to me, the world, or anybody else. All right, if I can help in any way, hit me up and ask. Always have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.